Hey guys, and welcome back to another Dear Piggy Java video. So in this video, we are going to take a flying leap and try to work on something a little bit harder than what we've been doing previously. So we are going to try to take user input in this video. Now, user input is one of my favorite things to do because it makes our program a lot more interactive, right? So we actually get to interact with the user. So it's not just me telling the computer what to do, it's me telling the computer what to do and then the computer asking the user, which is still me, what to do. But it makes things a lot more fun, right? So let's go ahead and jump right into user input. A couple of things, whoops, that's the Mad Libs game that we're gonna do next video, but taking user input, a couple of things that I want to mention is that at the very beginning, the new words that you'll see are kind of confusing and you might not exactly know what they stand for. And that's totally okay, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you explain it. If you don't understand it the first time, watch this video a few more times and then go over it on your own a little bit. And before long, I think hopefully this will make a lot more sense. Right? So the easiest way to take user input would to be use the scanner class, right? So the scanner is a class that comes in the java.util package. Now, I know you guys are giving me very curious looks right now, like what is a class, what is a package? Well, these are all very, very important parts in Java, but for now, just think of classes and think of the scanner class as a big toolbox that has so many things in it. And it can do plenty of things, but in the scanner class, we're going to specifically take something that can help us get user input. So the scanner class, the whole entire toolbox is designed for user input. And the most basic thing is to create a new scanner. So we're going to create something that will take user input. So it does sound complicated and the picture is not the best, but we'll go ahead and try it on our own. Okay, so I'm going to go and create a new REPL. Again, I feel like the scanner itself is a relatively understandable concept. It's just some of the keywords that you use to create the scanner can get kind of challenging because it gets kind of confusing sometimes. Come on, REPL it. Don't fail me now. Create a new REPL Java. Did not work for me the first time. Looks like it's slightly doing better now. There we go. So, like I've mentioned before, the Java runtime environment here is a little bit slow, but that's okay. We'll work with it. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to use our scanner. So scanner, we're going to start with the capital S and write scanner. Now scanner is the class. This is saying the scanner class. Now in here, you're next going to give it a scanner name. So for now, I'm not going to call it scanner because I think that's too confusing for beginners. Most people just say scanner is equal to. And that confused me for a very, very long time. Because then we wouldn't know which one was the actual scanner that we're using, right? So for now, instead of doing scanner, I'll go scanner name. So you'll see here that this next word here is the name of the scanner. You're going to name your scanner. So you can give this whatever name you want. Most people tend to use scanner with the lowercase s, but again, a little bit confusing. So we're going to set it equal to, and then we're going to say new. So by new, we're saying in the scanner class, we have a whatever you give it a name, and that's going to be equal to a new scanner. Now we're going to put parentheses back here, and this is kind of like a function, and we're going to say system.in. Now what this means, guys, is we're saying that we're going to create a new scanner that takes in input. So remember, when we're printing out things to the console, we would say system.out.println. right? But now, since we're not printing out to the console, we want to bring things in from the console, we're using system.in. Now, personally, in my opinion, this is the hardest line to understand, right? So again, just to repeat myself, this is the scanner class. This is the name of your scanner. Again, this can be Bob if we want to name our scanner Bob. We set it equal to a new scanner. So we're going to create something new that scans something. And then we put system.in in here because we're taking something in from the console from our user. So basically, that's what this part is. We've successfully set up our scanner. So let me go ahead and go back to the REPL. So I'm going to use a comments set up scanner. Alrighty, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to, we're going to import our scanner. So a couple of things that I want to really explain here. Your scanner is something that is built in to the entire Java sort of package thing that comes along. However, there are so many things that get included that Java can't use everything at the same time. So you have to specifically tell your program to get the scanner class. So we're going to have to import it. We're going to say import at the very top here, right above your class. We're going to say import java.util. So util is the package, .scanner. So by doing this, we've imported our scanner class. So before, when we did not have this line, guys, we wouldn't be able to use scanner. So this would not work. But since we've imported it, we've successfully added that function to our code. So now we're able to use our scanner. So now everything looks good, a-okay. We just need to, well, actually get some input, right? It has to do something. So go ahead and ask for input. How we're going to do this is we're going to print a message out to the console. So system.out.println. Now, this is just a normal print line. Now, in our question here, we will say, do you know Bob the Minion? Right? In case you don't know, from Despicable Me, the one who has one eye and always talks about bananas, from Despicable Me. All right, so this is our question. As you can see, when we run our code, it's going to get printed out onto the screen. But then, since we asked the question, there we go, finally printed. Since we asked the question, hopefully we want to get an answer. Right? Whether this is a yes or no or maybe or I'm not so sure, it doesn't really matter. Right now, all we're looking for is to get that input. So now we're going to save input as a variable. So one thing that I really want to show carefully here. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to get the next line. So think about it this way. We asked the question on this first line here, right? So where is the answer going to be? The answer is going to be the next line that shows up. So instead, just go ahead and do bob.next. So guys, what does this mean? Bob is the name of our scanner, right? We've named our scanner Bob. So by saying bob.next, I'm saying please get whatever comes next after the scanner, like after this line that we've asked here. And then we're going to assign that to a variable because we need to save a value. So we're going to say string answer1 is equal to bob.next. So what am I doing here, guys? Let's run my code, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Okay, so do you know Bob the Minion from Despicable Me? And notice that it's asking here, waiting for me to give an input. So I say, yes, I love him. Click enter, and then your program abruptly ends. So we've gotten the input, we haven't done anything with it, but we've made a little bit of progress. So that's good news, right? So now here we have, let's explain this part. So we understand up until here we've created our scanner, but we haven't used it. We've printed out a question to the user. Now here we said take whatever is on the next line after your input here. So take whatever comes next after your print line. And we just did Bob here because that's the name of our scanner. Then we assign this value. So for example, when I said, yes, I love him, we assign this entire value to a string. So once we assign the entire value to a string, we can now save that variable and we can use it again. So now the next step is to print out our answer. So go ahead and do system.out.println again, system.out.println, and say, you said that plus answer 1. So what I've done here now, guys, is watch, run the code. Waiting. Oh, there we go. Do you know Bob the Minion from Despicable Me? Yep, he's the best. So that's my answer. That's the input I'm giving here in the console. Click enter, and you said that yep. Now, why does it stop at yep? And it doesn't go on. That's because when it saw the comma, it thought it ended. And while I said next, I didn't say, well, just take whatever I said. I didn't say take the entire thing. I just said next. So you would take whatever happens next. And it took the comma as, well, an ending. So like, if I say, yep, I love him. Let's see what happens now. It would just say yep. So why does this happen? This happens because I said next and not next line. It's saying that you only asked for the next thing. So the next thing is yep. It cuts off right there because that's the only next part. If I change this to next line, I believe this is a function, not quite sure. Let's try it out. And then this time we said that we love Bob. Then it's going to say, you said that we love Bob. So does the difference start to make a little bit more sense now? Whatever function you put here is going to be very important when it comes to whatever you print out. When we used next, we saw it printed out only one word after. When we did next line, we saw it printed out the entire line. So next line is probably your go-to idea, right? There's also next int. So there's also next int, which is getting the next integer, and there's also next double. These are just examples, getting of the next double. So based on this, guys, this is how we take user input. Okay, we did a quick, easy example there. Again, if you don't understand it, I highly, highly, highly recommend you watch the video again, do it along in your own REPL. Change your name from Bob to Scanner. This is what most professionals use. They do not give their scanner a name called Bob, guys. But remember, if you change it here, you got to change it there, right? So try that. Watch the video again, and then next video is going to be a game. It's going to be a Mad Libs game where we use at least 4 user inputs. So yep. Bob loves bananas, which doesn't have anything to do with the question, but it's okay. All right, so we know that it still works. Okay, guys, that's the end of this video. I'll see you in the last video of this week for our favorite Mad Libs game. I always love teaching this game in all the languages, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun. Bye, guys.